You trying to do an Inflex We Trust freestyle? Hit up that Funk Flex Facebook Messenger right now if you got bars and get that freestyle in. Funk Flex, of course, Nicki Minaj. We got a story to tell, right, Tat? Yep. Me and Nicki are here fresh off of having big problems, right? Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah.
We weren't seeing eye to eye.
You weren't seeing eye to eye with me. I had no clue what you was mad at, but
No, well, I wasn't mad. I was being opinionated. Is that a good way to put it, or you have a different?
I would put it in a different way, but because we're cool again, I'm not gonna say
Did you feel I was attacking you?
Of course.
All right, I can understand that the way you feel. Look at it, the lip one up, the eye. Why you fixed it? I was being opinionated about your music, right? That the right way to say it?
Yeah, but it felt more than about my music. And I don't know why, for some reason, and I noticed it with a lot of people from New York or on New York radio, it seems like when they have an issue with me, it seems like it's more than just music. And, that's...
Well, you know what? I get, because I'm come full circle, so I can kind of like tell you where I was. I think, because of course we got a story to tell us talking about the beginning, so we are going to go to the beginning. I've always been a fan of your music, Nicki. I think where maybe I wasn't was, I felt there was a couple songs that got super commercial, and I guess while I was watching you go back and forth with your music, like the Drake song and the one Drake and Wayne, and I couldn't pinpoint it at the time. Maybe I felt you didn't have it, but then now when I hear stuff like Dreams and I hear things, I hear the music now. And don't take offense to this. I may have felt that you were getting a little lazy with the music. That's how I felt.
Okay.
You know, that's how I felt. And so, yes,
I
was definitely at you.
Okay.
Chung Lee changed me around. You know, I like that song. Look, my opinion is the end all be all.
Everyone has an opinion, and also I'm never mad when people say that. Whenever people give me constructive criticism, like if somebody tells me you could have went harder on that, I accept things like that. I have an issue when the criticism seems like it's personal or like from a bad place. And since I know so many things that are going on behind the scenes, what other people don't know, I know that there's a lot of people getting paid to voice those kinds of opinions. So I didn't know if you fell under that.
And I'm going to support. I'm going to support you on what you're saying,
right?
Because there is in the music and entertainment business, there is a lot of not pay for play, pay for opinions.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised you brought that up just now. I didn't know you knew about that.
My fans been talking about it a lot online. And
barbs?
People think that it's just something that fans are speculating. No, this is real shit. So I didn't know.
It's real.
I didn't know if you fell under that category until Chun Li came out, and I heard what you said, which I thought was very important when you said my opinion can't be bought. And that's why I posted you and I said, now this is some real nigga shit, because I don't mind people not liking a record or a few records, but when they do like something and they come out and say it and they acknowledge when something is hard, then that's just being fair. You know, if you have a position, if you're in a position of power in this industry, then the least you can do is be fair. Say when you don't like something, but also say when you do like something. And don't use that because you're getting paid to voice opinions, good opinions on people. Don't take it out on me. And
or if you're getting paid to play other records and that you say those records are dope. And I'm not even referring to female rap. I'm referring to male and female. And I do believe that game is played in this business. And the only reason I am still here, Nicki, is I never took a penny to play a record. You can't buy my opinion, or you can't buy to play a song. And my personal or what we're doing in social media does never affects my ear on if I hear a song. And I want to admit to you that yes, in the very beginning, I wanted to front on Chung Lee in the car by myself. I'm listening because Tat might have called me, and Tat said, Nicki dropped these joints. I was like, yeah, word. All right, I'll listen to it. So I had it in my phone, and I was on the West Side Highway. So when I first heard, I'm like, should I? Right? I think I called and told him, I said, all right. By the time I got to the end of the highway, I'm like, nah, this shit kind of knocking. This shit's starting to knock. And then by the time I got on the air, I was excited about it. And
okay. Well, thank you. That was like your energy was so genuine, and it really was like dope. It was really dope. I was happy that you liked it. So.
I thought you were making good music. I was wondering if you were going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering.
You thought it might just be.
But that was everybody though. Don't like Nicki, when you get into that successful, a lot of records selling, pop and streetwise, you saw when other rappers got on that that place, and then that's where the darts go, because you're the staple of what it is. And fair or unfair, DJs, radio people, and fans are going to expect more.
Thank you.
From you than they would from the next person.
Thank you. Let's take a moment to let that sink in.
Yes.
Because it's something that has been done to me for a very long time. It's something that when we went to the not B&J, but just the Jay concert, Jay spoke to me about that. He said, look, they're always going to hold you to a higher standard. And I said, but why? And I said, it's not fair. And he's like, it just is what it is. He was like, it's not you, it's your spot. When you're in the spot that you're in, they measure everything by you, and they hold you to a higher, accountability. And I was just like, this is not right, And I was like crying out to him in a way. And he basically was turning around and telling me, they do it to me. They've been doing it to me my whole career.
For Jay, everybody wants Reasonable Doubt, which was great. It was a great album. Me personally, I'm okay with not getting that Jay anymore, because he gave me different Jay-Z's. But, you have some people who are stuck on what they got prior. I mean, like, the same case with you. Like, the early music, that's what people were used to. And, of course, they're going to ask for those things. But speaking of the early music, because we're going to take it back a little bit. I don't remember the year, but first time I met you, I believe was you came up to K-Slay show. I feel like, am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. And I remember when Slay introduced you, he said, like, this is Nicki Minaj. And he was already sold. And you were laid back. I feel like Safari was there. I feel like he might have been there when you were there.
All three of us. We were in a rap group, and he did reggae music at the time, and the other two boys rapped, and I rapped.
Okay, so where were y'all from? This was
well, they were from Brooklyn. I was from Queens. They were all three of them were from Brooklyn.
So what year was this?
I'm not good with years, but
this is past 2000, right?
Yeah, Pink Friday came out in 2010. I would say, I don't know, 07 or 06 or something. I'm not sure.
Okay. So, but I remember he used to come when he used to have all the girls freestyling, like sometimes, right? And I remember that, and I remember hearing your music a little bit. I felt like it was good, but it didn't stand out at the time, but it was good. And Bobby Trends then had told me, I don't know if you remember this party we did. This had to be, you took off in Jersey first. Do you remember that? Do you remember you?
I think you and I did a part. Was that where our party was?
Well, we did a part, but you had already been packing Jersey out.
Right.
You were doing, you had the freestyle of a donk, and you had
Itty Bitty Piggy, and I had I Get Crazy, I think, or was it something else with Itty Bitty Piggy?
I Get Crazy, I remember, but in Jersey, you were putting like 1,000, 2,000 in the venues, and I remember. Trent said, I said, yo, I hadn't been in the clubs for a long time. I said, I want to start doing the clubs again. Who should I get? He said, you gotta get Nicki Minaj. You gotta bring her to Jersey. So then I said, but I know of her, but I said, the Nicki. He says, no, she's packing it. So we came to a place, and you must have put 2,000 people in there. This is before you were with Gucci, right? You weren't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember meeting you, and I remember your stage show being good, and I want to say maybe you had mentioned, because I felt like I spoke to Waka's mom for that party. I felt like, was she involved yet?
I don't think so.
How did that even
I don't think so.
happen?
Well,
Excuse me for not saying her name right.
Deborah, Anthony.
Deborah. How did that happen?
Okay, I was in dire need of a manager. Sycamore had managed me for a little bit, and then I went.
Sycamore, the DJ?
Yeah, he managed me for a little bit.
How'd you know him?
I'm not sure. How did Sycamore? Trying to think if my production company at that time had introduced us. I don't remember, but I remember that he was really driven, but I just didn't think he was maybe driven as much as he needed to be at that time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what, I need somebody that's a little bit more, seasoned or whatever, and has more time for me. And I went to Atlanta. I spoke to Deborah on the phone first, and then I went to Atlanta and met her, and I found an apartment there and never looked back. So I signed my lease while I was there within 7 days of meeting her, and I came back to New York. I got my car, packed everything in my car, my BMW, and I drove down to Atlanta. That's how.
Drove.
Yeah, drove to Atlanta from New York with all my stuff in my car, and it was just because, I don't know, something about having a really strong woman in my corner made me feel really like safe. She was really protective of me, and she would like defend me, and like, she would try to get the highest money from me, and like always she would tell people, you know what, she's worth a lot more than this. So she just believed in me, and I didn't have anyone at the time to really speak up for me. That's how I felt. So we went there. Obviously, everybody was a Gucci Mane fan at the time, so I ended up meeting Gucci that way. And once I was down there, he would call me early in the morning. I'm talking about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and he was just like, "Yo, come to the studio." We would go to the studio and do song after song after song. So that's why, out of nowhere, people just started hearing me popping up on mad freestyles with him, because he worked very fast. And if you were in the studio with him, you had to write very fast, because when he sets a time on, like, when he wants to be out the studio and he wasn't paying more than 2 hours studio time, he meant that. So I never like wanted to not, be on record. So I would write really, really fast. It would just be me, him, and the engineer. And that's how that started.
So I remember, if I remember the climate in New York at the time, New York wasn't very open to New York artists. Because I remember you, French, and a couple people making your bones in other places, then kind of
coming back,
circling back. Why do you think that was happening at that time? Why was the vibe like that in New York? You think?
I wish I knew. I just feel like New York has such a history of great talent that you have to be exceptionally great to be here. It's like, coming here, people is like, well, we got this. You can't rap better than her. You can't rap better than him. So you got it's very hard, And you have people who've been around it, somebody like you or other DJs who've been around the greats, and you have to really go above and beyond to impress those kinds of people. So it is scary to try to.
We're hard. I know.
Yeah.
We're hard.
Even as artists, even as rappers, we're harder on each other than they are, outside of New York.
So. When I saw you with K-Slater, you had to have people like, we're gonna throw anything out the window that's happened afterwards. But you had to have who were your favorites.
Yeah.
Like, and not just female MC, just female, male. Who, when you were in that stage of your life, who did you like listening to? Who did you like the most?
At the time, and today it hasn't changed.
Like 05, 06, Wayne, right? We're at
Jay and Foxy and Wayne, to me, and Lauren, like, to me, those 4 people, later on, I remember telling someone I want to be able to have sarcasm in my raps like Eminem does. So those 5 people really, like, to me, became just a gumbo soup of the people who I like really sought out to be like, in terms of, they all had something different that I thought that I admired about them, But at that time, to me, like, the whole entire New York scene, Biggie and Kim, Foxy and Jay, Lauren, you know, it was just so, it was so powerful. I didn't have to look too far to have my inspirations. And I used to say that early on.
It's popping.
All the time.
You know, some people always ask me, do I miss that period? And I want to be honest, I do like, you know, a lot of people are afraid to say it. I like that wave, and I like the new wave too. I love like Young M.A. Like when her record started to pop. I remember when she came to I was playing a club, and somebody said that she was here. I said, well, tell them to come to the booth. And I'm thinking, well, she's not in the building tonight. I know she's not one of the artists in the building. So I'm thinking, she just came in the booth and she said, God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless you. It meant so much to me because she just came and she went home after that. And I think I played it in the club and I happened to videotape because, you know, I'm really just trying to get some more bookings, to be honest. But that was the record turned the club upside down. And she reposted, she said something sweet. The only thing that keeps me going, I love seeing a new artist that gets a new record and watch how they go through the whole process. Because I'm sure you see it. You already know what the process is going to be. Oh, you're going to go bust down a new car. You're going to go get a house. You're going to, you know, it's a nice process to see. So I do like the young talent as much as the old talent. So this whole process that you were going through, you know, I have seen Safari in some instances say that he helped with writing. Then I've seen him say in some places he hasn't. This is like of recent. Like, I must say, dude, when I did see you and your two friends, like y'all were so like, I won't say well behaved, but y'all were studying the surroundings, y'all paying attention to what was going on. I'm just talking about when I saw y'all with K Slay. But so, from your words, how was he involved? Like how what like
so what
how was he involved?
I wish I could call the two guys that were in the group, and I didn't know you were going to talk about this.
Oh shit!
But I'll say this, and the reason why you've seen him backtracking and all that stuff is because
I saw it like a month ago. I saw him kind of like say, "Well, that's not exactly what happened," or
because it's not, and it was never the truth. And sometimes with me, a person knows that they can't really say anything to hurt me, but they know if they say that I will take it to heart. Hold on, I wanna hit this guy. He has no clue. I didn't know you was gonna talk about this. But when I came in for my mixtapes and stuff, and even Fendi and I haven't spoken in years.
That's right. So Fendi used to was he managing you?
Yeah, I was signed to his label, his production company.
Okay.
You've never. Let me tell you, Fendi would have been the first.
I forgot
person,
about that.
Fendi would have been the first person to tell you if I ever had any help with my writing. With all the fucked up shit he said about me, he's never said that, because Fendi will tell you. He would call me, I would be writing my songs, and I would be matching them up with Biggie's songs. And I would play it and go line for line and match the line, like Warning and Dead Wrong and all this stuff. I would sit in a room by myself for 14 to 15 hours doing that. It's so ironic to me because when we started the group, we all laughed at him at Safari because he I'm not trying to be funny. He couldn't rap. He couldn't rap.
I didn't mean to ask the question and you take an L. This is going bad.
He couldn't rap. So what's... Hey, Louis?
Oh, shit.
What's good?
Damn.
I know this is so odd. I happen to be on Funk Master Flex show right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean guys is bad.
You hear me?
Did you hear me?
So let me tell you what he just asked me.
Oh, shit.
He said, explain to me Safari's role in the group at that time.
He was the hype man.
He was the hype man, okay? Now, Louis, and I want you to put this on your mother's soul and your life.
Oh, God.
Have you... he has 2 kids, on his kids. Have you ever known any man, including Safari, to write raps for me.
Never. You wouldn't even keep no ideas from any of us. You was big on, I gotta write my own shit. Y'all not writing nothing. And you was always in competition with us, like, my shit better than y'all's.
Always a competition. I always thought I was better than every nigga. So I always thought like.
Safari never wrote nothing.
And didn't 7 Up have to write his raps?
Don't do.
No, I wrote all of his shit. Remember, Safari used to take my shit out the trash. That rap he stood on K-Slave was my old rap.
But remember, there was a Trinidadian boy who made up that rap, who confronted Safari about stealing his rap. What was the Trinidadian's boy name? What was the boy's name?
I forgot the nigga name, but that
Safari, I'm sorry. Gosh, I'm sorry.
He heard the radio, he came down there, he was really upset, like, yo, bro, I spit that rap to you, and now you go spit this shit on the radio, and everybody was like, what?
Now,
he was like, yo.
This is on my life. This is on my life. So he did something because he knew that was the only way to hurt me. Because people know how big I am on that. I came into this game, I'm talking about brand new into this shit, being adamant no man will ever write for me. And I've stood by that my whole fucking career. Okay? Yep. Yo, text me 7 Up's number. Don't tell him why I'm calling. Just text me his number. Don't hit him.
Oh,
I want to call him real quick. I'm going to call you right back too. I'm going to see if this is his real number, but I want to speak to him.
Well, now.
I'm just saying. No, this is Bow-Legged Lou's son.
Okay.
You remember Bow-Legged Lou and
Absolutely.
we were signed to them.
Wait, were you signed to them too?
We were, yes, with the group. Our group was signed to them because that's his father. The boy I just called, that's Bow-Legged Lou's son.
Correct me if I remember this right. Did they call me once? You were on a record with them, and did you do a verse on one of their songs, an older song? Not one of the oldest, like when they were trying to come back. Do I have the wrong song? You never did a verse.
I'm not sure.
I am so. Wait, what was the group called again? Full Force. When I was a kid, your biggest fear was one of Full Force stealing your girl.
Really?
Like that. Oh, absolutely. They was hot out. They was like, all the girls want to get with them. Okay, so in his defense, I got it. I'm gonna give you some mail. Just a little, not musically. I would be. I want to be honest. Me, if I was dating you, and no longer allowed to date you. And you were dating someone else. I kind of understand where the hurt came in.
Of course.
You can kind of see where
there was hurt, and I'm gonna tell you.
See where it came, right?
I was told via an email that the hurt was because my lyrics that I wrote to Meek on "By a Heart."
I mean, the hurt he should have felt. Listen, you know how he looked out here, right, when that was going on. Terrible.
Yeah, but you don't know the fucked up shit he did.
No, but yes. But I'm saying, but you see what I'm saying, like but
let me tell you something. It don't give you a right to lie about someone's craft just because you know they're a woman and people would believe you. So now years later you want to come back. Now years later you want to come back and say, oh, by the way, I lied. Years later after you've tried to tarnish my image, and it's that's corny. And I've gotten over it because people you can go and listen to Queen. And you can hear the truth for your motherfucking self.
People before you, why did that rumor exist? Is because there have been artists before you that there have been a few female artists that have been known to have writers.
Right.
So I gotta admit that I did believe it when it was I believed it when it was happening, when it was being said in the beginning.
Because I'm a female? That's fucking corny to me.
No.
That is fucking corny because I'm a female.
No.
If I'm with a man, if I'm standing next to a man and I'm clearly more intelligent than this person and much more well-spoken and clearly, just...
Well, here, I think that people who have come before you as rappers, as a couple male, but as some female rappers too, who have had pen help. So, of course... we're going to think that the closest person to you at that time, if he's saying that, a lot of people did assume.
Ask Fendi. And let me tell you what else, if people really think. Ask Meek. Now you got to think about this. Me and Meek were together we messed around for a couple years, and then we were together in an official relationship for 2 years. Hold on.
Don't speed over that. Hold up.
No, I just want to say this part, but I want everybody to really think. I'm in a relationship with a rapper. Mm-hmm. Okay. At some point, if I don't write my raps, and I'm in the house with this man, and I'm writing and recording all the time, he would have to find that out. He would have to know that.
Absolutely.
I would be in bed writing. Like the Pink Print freestyle. I don't know if you guys remember when I took a little time off of the internet, then I came back and put out the Pink Print freestyle over MA's beat.
Tough.
Meek was all his friends used to be. Meek was the one. I think Meek was on house arrest at the time. I was laying in bed the whole time writing that, and he would just keep on coming back inside saying, "You finished? You done? You done? You done?" I wouldn't even let him hear my raps until I was done, and then I would read them back to him. And down in the DM remix, same thing. I wrote it in bed, and I would let him hear it after I'm done.
I think at the time when that was being said, Nicki, I think as time went on, what was bothering Safari was coming to the surface. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think it's sad that my culture turned on me when I put so much.
During then?
Yeah, with my writing, I've always been adamant that not only I write my own raps, but that I want all women to write their own raps.
But you know there's a lot of rappers not writing.
It doesn't matter about what they're doing. My thing is just because I'm a woman.
But not just because you're a woman. I think.
So if I was a man and a man came out and said I've been writing their raps, you would have believed them? No, you wouldn't, because you would think.
I gotta jump in. I did believe when some reference tracks came out. I did believe that.
Listen to what you just said. Have you ever heard any reference tracks about me, but you believed it because I'm a female?
No,
so
wait,
you didn't hear reference tracks from Drake. If you didn't hear reference tracks associated with Drake, you would have never believed it.
Correct.
I'm a woman,
you're right,
so you believed it.
You're right. I want to say right, yes.
Thank you. So
yes,
there's a double fucking standard. I've written every fucking rap of my whole career.
I do agree there's a double standard. Yes. I agree there's a double standard.
Why is it so hot?
I know.
Open that door. Yo, it is blazing.
I do believe there's a double standard. For the music, yes.
So all I want to say is shout out to the people who knew better all along, who held me down all along.
Yes.
Okay? Shout out to everybody who can listen to Queen and hear my skills, my ability.
I hear it.
Oh, okay.
I do hear it.
Thank you.
Hear it. Well, I want to know when I really took the writing thing out of my head?
When?
100% when I did?
When?
Dreams. The Barbie dreams.
Oh, come on.
100%. I did. I gotta be honest.
Knock it off.
That was a song for me.
Knock it off. Barbie Dreams is not even a lyrical fucking record.
No,
you think because I wrote Barbie.
You know what? I felt that the energy that you gave on that song gave me a couple things. One, that you're aware of what's going on in social media. You're aware of the internet. You're aware of what the fuck's being said about niggas. So for me, I was like,
oh, so you thought somebody was feeding me?
No.
Culture?
I thought that if there was any Chung-Lee, yeah, but then I didn't get the album yet.
Okay.
Right? Then, so for Dreams, for me, when I'm hearing what I was hearing and how you describing shit, I felt it was you, which we're gonna break down in a second. But you said something else I don't want to skip across.
Okay.
We mentioned those reference tracks. I just want your opinion. I just want your opinion. I said it, and I mean, and you talked lyrical. I really want your opinion. I'm not
I'll tell you what
of the reference. When you heard the Drake reference tracks, what was your opinion? If you even heard them, you see, I gave you a little out, but I'm not though, because I know you heard them.
Let me tell you something. I said this on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Drake writes for himself and others. Correct. If y'all think that Drake give me a break. Let me tell you something.
I don't think he doesn't write. I don't think he does not write.
Okay. Every single rapper has had someone lay a reference track for them or something and said, here, I did an idea for you. I did a hook for you. It's up to you as an artist what you take and what you don't. But that happens with everyone, because people go in and do hooks. And some people will put something in there.
Well, that's allowed in the game.
Of course.
Like a hook, couple bars, hook idea, change something up in the studio. Those are like unwritten rules of being okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I don't know I didn't hear anything that made me, feel away. And
I was surprised. I was.
Well, maybe I didn't hear what people be talking about, but I just know that like to put him in that category.
He's not a person. He's not a rapper that doesn't write.
Right.
I think. I don't think he doesn't write. You know, I think maybe I felt. I just never expected.
Yeah, but every rapper had from all of them have come out and said, "Yo, when we all in the studio and we writing and we recording, niggas that say 2 lines here and there, and you like, oh, that shit is hot, that's whatever." Everybody, that period.
Yes.
Like I've been in the studio with men. I'm not gonna say male rappers' names, and I've given lines. Does that mean I write for them now?
No, I don't. Okay, but Nicki, you're sharing a rule that's an understood rule. Like it's like a quiet understood rule. Like, yeah, it's cool. You know, and this isn't even for you to answer. This is just for me to say, for me, what I heard. And maybe it's why I went so hard, because I went hard at him. I did.
Oh, you did?
I went hard at him about the reference track.
Okay.
I went hard because I think a lot of us still are, but we're just super Drake fans. You know, it was like the versatility and the great melodies, the singing and the rap. You know, those are stuff that we didn't really hear before.
Right.
That I feel he's mastered.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I still respect his pen. I want to be careful with my words to say. Mm-hmm. I still respect his pen. I had more respect for his pen maybe before I heard the reference tracks. And I think I just, when you claim King or you claim top 5, you know, the guys that I know or you know that we consider top 5, you know, I just never heard a Biggie reference track. I never heard a Jay reference track. I never heard a Jadakiss, an Eminem. And I did have him in there. I had him in there. He not that he asked for it, not that he said it, but you just do. So that's it. I was just the reference tracks did bother me. And I do agree with you, there is a double standard. Because, you know what? I'm going to say what I believe from what I understood in the game. I did hear once a Get Money reference track. Mm-hmm. Am I right? We heard that. This was like, you know, back then, and it was Biggie doing Kim's verse. Oh. And I get it, and I kind of when I say understood it mean, okay, I get what this is, and I felt like Big might have penned some of Caesar's things. That's me, you know, and I don't want to say I saw it, but it's what I felt. There was enough information that made me feel like that.
Okay.
I did feel like Jay penned a couple Foxy things.
She's admitted that. She said he wrote a couple joints.
Yeah,
but not on Broken Silence.
So I think when you came along,
people assumed.
When you came along, right? Maybe not in the beginning, but as your success started to grow, yes, because everyone prior, and that's what I meant for them. So I just got to say what I'm feeling. Yeah. Or what I believe to be true. I feel like Queen Latifah penned. I felt like she penned. I didn't have anything to tell me that she didn't. And so, yes, I did put you in that category because that's what I was used to. Mm. And usually when it was a successful female rapper next to a big rapper, like how you were next Wayne. To Gucci, you were next to Wayne. Yep. It felt like that, and then I feel like Safari maybe knowing the older, knowing that what a lot of people had believed a New York rapper to be, a female, and him saying that, yes, I did buy into it.
He manipulated the world because of that prior information. The world knowing that other big female MCs have gotten people to write for them. He knew by saying that it wouldn't be a stretch, and he knew by so many people always wanting. I agree. He knew by so many people always wanting to tear me down in some way, and they just couldn't find something to tear me down with. He knew that was it, and that had the only reason he did that was because he was hurting inside, because he shitted on me and finally got shitted on. And imagine that.
Well,
imagine that.
Since I'm gonna tell you what I heard he did. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Okay.
I heard he got caught moving outside of the relationship. That's what I heard.
Of course.
And I heard that this involved, I heard so much, right? No. I didn't hear it involve me. I heard it involved, well, I'm going to get to that. That was on the tail end of it. But I heard he moved outside of the relationship. I heard there was like second apartments or whatever was happening. That's what I heard. And he was moving a certain way. Meek's going to get mad at me, but I did hear that Meek might have given you that information of what was going on.
Meek didn't give me that.
That's what I heard.
Meek did not give me that information.
You got that information on your own.
Look, Meek. Look, I don't want to talk about that. All I want to talk about is what I do, and what I do is I write songs.
Be clear.
Okay, I write not only rap. Okay. I write not only raps, but I write songs. When you listen to Chun Li, when you listen to Coco Chanel, when you listen to Good Form, these records are written entirely by me. These records are not even a chorus given to me. These records are me having a beat.
Step your game up.
I never stepped my game up. I've always been doing this.
Yeah, but no,
I've always been doing
this album.
Flex.
I think this album you stepped your game up.
I do think this album's better. I do think this album's better. But I've always had the same approach. Well, you talk about Itty Bitty Piggy.
Tough.
That's a beat that I took at such a young age and sat with the shit and wrote it out.
It's tough.
By myself. By my fucking self. You want to talk about these females that have come before me? Go and ask Lil Wayne and go and ask Gucci Mane. Have they ever wrote a fucking lyric for me?
They've never said they wrote for you.
They can't.
No, they never said
they respect my pen. But they respect my pen. And it's so fucked up that everybody on the inside of the industry knows that I write my lyrics and knows that I put so much weight on women writing. And then for one person to do something like this to me out of sheer weakness and passive aggression and just hatefulness and vindictiveness, because you got caught shitting on a person that was taking care of you for years and years, because you got caught shitting on a person who was taking care of you while you were paying for prostitutes and doing all types and stealing their credit cards and doing all types of dumbass shit.
Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
How you go?
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
No.
Hold the fuck up. If it was here, wait a minute. All right, listen.
And I tried to be so nice. Everybody knows I kept my mouth shut. I could have been a fucked up ass bitch to people. I said nothing.
You're not paying for pussy. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. All right. Ooh. It got hot in here. You know what? I'm going to fly past that.
Let's go into Queen.
Yeah, I'm going to fly past that. Okay. So, we talked about Gucci Mane, how you met him. Okay, so now, Gucci Mane, Waka, you're in that camp, right? Sorry, Safari. You're in that camp, and then
there's nothing for you to be sorry for. Actually, he should be apologizing. I've done nothing but good for him. You wouldn't know who this man was. He asked me to take him with me to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I came to New York to get my clothes. Mm-hmm. He asked me to take him with me. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? Mm-hmm. He had a job in Atlanta for one day. He came back home and said he doesn't want to do that job. I said, don't worry. I had $1,000 in my bank account. I said, don't worry. I'll figure out a way to get our rent paid.
Before album deals, before everything.
Before everything. We had no couch. We had no bed. Our mattress was on the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going out there and working, he decided he didn't want to work. And I said, it's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll book a show. I know.
Love. This is love involved.
So if anything, he should just be thanking God that he now has an opportunity to make money and to make a way for himself. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have had this opportunity had I not pushed my pen. He told me to stop trying to pursue rap. He told me that I was living in a fantasy world and it would never happen. His mother, and his sister called me a lazy bitch because I was pursuing my rap career.
You obviously did the right thing.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
The paying for prostitutes.
No, I'm not going.
Because I was going to move from it, and I wanted to. Was he charging it? Or call girls? Not really. You were on the Ave picking. Like, how did that even come about?
Listen, Flex, move on. But it's
Paying
disgusting. It's disgusting. You don't do that.
She said something else before that because the paying for pussy, it threw me so far off. She really said two things. Does anybody remember what she said? Don't look at her. Just tell me. She said something else. She's never gonna tell me again. You gotta tell me. It was paying for prostitutes and something else. Okay, all right.
No, it was something.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get to our meat questions in a second. Okay, Young Money. How did you even get to Young Money? How did you?
Well, because of the Come Up DVD, and Wayne was on that Come Up DVD, and Wayne saw my section after him.
While you were with Deborah at this time.
No. I wasn't
with them yet.
No, I wasn't with Debbie yet. It was just me and Fendi, I think, at that time, and because actually it was our first thing we did. It was the first thing we did on the Come Up DVD.
Fendi always takes highly of you.
Really?
When he talks to me, yeah, absolutely. About the grind in the beginning and energy.
I never heard him say anything good about me.
I did.
I will say that he one thing like
to me he said several things. He always remind. Do you remember? I said no. I kind of remember that.
Well, I will say this: if anybody can tell you the truth, it would have been him. And he has done a lot. And him and I have had a disagreement before. He would have been the first one to say, "Oh shit, I'm right." Da, da, da. Fendi used to call me on the phone and try to say, "Let me hear what you got. I can help you. I can help." Ask him. He used to say, "I can help you. I don't want you taking too long," because he wanted me to hurry up, And I would say, "No, I'm not taking a line. I'm not taking a word from you." I've always been like that, But he always had a really strong work ethic as well. And he
had a grind.
Yeah.
So you're on this Come Up DVD. Wayne sees you on it because he's on it as well.
Right.
And so he sees. How does he even get in touch with you?
He had his home. He had a dude called EI who knew Fendi. And EI hit Fendi like, yo, Wayne been talking about this girl all day. He want to meet her. He want her to be down with this crew. He just put together this new crew. It's called Young Money. Nobody had heard of Young Money. We didn't know what the hell a Young Money was. And Fendi called me and put me on three-way with Wayne one day. And that was all. It was the scariest thing in the world. I was so scared because all day I was cleaning up my room. I was doing a bunch of stuff around the house with my mother, and I had stopped listening to the Come Up DVD, and once it ends, there's a song that will just keep playing over and over, like the menu. So the song on the menu would just keep playing, and it was a Wayne song. Gotcha. So I always said like I conjured him up because after a couple hours of that playing nonstop, Fendi called me and Wayne was on the line.
That had to be. Is that your turning point? Well, what is that? What is that for you? What is the Wayne call for Nicki? What is it for you? Like, what does it symbolize?
It's symbolized that maybe, just maybe, all the things that I was hoping and praying for my whole life could happen. I didn't know that it would at that moment just yet, but I just knew that this is where I wanted to be because I loved him. And I was like, first of all, it felt surreal, but I just was like, where else would be, like, where could be more perfect for me to be? Like, to me, he was like that new young energy. Even though he had been in the industry for so long, he had this energy that I loved, and I felt like I could match it.
He stepped his bar game up from when he was. You saw the growth in him over time. He definitely So now that call is what, like, so you don't meet Deborah yet. So now you start doing the freestyles, I guess, with Gucci. That's moving along. You know Wayne at the time. He's putting together Young Money. Does he have, like, I remember Jay Mills. This is Jay Mills. This is Drake. This is
He didn't have Drake he didn't have Drake yet. I don't think when he first called me, he didn't have Drake yet. He knew of Drake.
So then, what was the other guy?
Tiger came afterwards as well. I think
Tiger came afterwards?
After that call.
Mac Maine was part of it, right?
Mac is still a part of it. Mac is still the president. Yeah.
So now this is going on for you. You're not. The Young Money's understood, but where's the next turning point after meeting Wayne, after meeting Gucci? What's your next thing that's influential for you that moves you closer to where you want to be?
Well, signing the deal. People don't know this, but once Wayne was rapping and saying, I just signed a chick named Nicki Minaj and all that stuff, and he did songs with me for my mixtapes, but I didn't get a check. I didn't sign on a dotted line. So I never knew if this was real or not. I never knew if he could wake up one day and be like, nah, I changed my mind, you know? Yeah. And in fact, one day he did kick me out of Young Money for a little period of time because I had to leave for Miami and go to a show that I had booked. And he was like, what? We here working. And I'm like, but I booked a show. I don't want to get sued, you know? But
and it's the time too. You're trying to build your bread up. You're trying to get your shit popping and stable.
I never relied on Lil Wayne. I always wanted to bring something to the table. I always wanted to have like my own buzz, and that's why I started building like the whole Twitter, social media thing on my own. You know, engaging with my fans, so that I knew he would eventually hear like, yo, this chick got a buzz of her own. And then, sure enough, when there started being a little bidding war for me, you know.
I remember that.
And then you know, and Deborah wanted me to sign with a particular with someone else, and Wayne was like, "Yo, what you mean? Like, you even thinking about not signing with Young Money? Are you crazy?" And I was just like, "Oh, I thought you wanted just to A&R the project." He was like, "Well, I don't want to A&R no more. I got a label, right?" So he switched it up with me and Drake, and he then decided like, "No, I don't want to A&R y'all projects. Y'all got to sign a Young Money." And neither of us were going to say no out of loyalty because he had allowed us to come on the road with him without no contract signed or nothing. Mm-hmm. We were standing and, you know, performing in front of 20,000 people a night because of him. So there was no way I was going to say no. It wasn't about the monies for me. It was just about the loyalty. And so that happened, and then I started working towards that first album. And so that was the big thing. So I got a little advance. I made sure, you know, one thing, I had a great lawyer from the beginning. I had the lawyer that I have now is the lawyer who I signed my deal with. And one thing I made sure I didn't do was sign a 360 deal. You know, that was the one thing my lawyer put me onto that a long time ago. And thank you, Jesus, that I never had to sign a 360. So therefore, I was able to start, you know.
And they weren't super, I think at that time, people weren't super forcing it on us like they are now. I think there's more pressure now to do those things.
Really? Is it more pressure now?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. You had a verse.
It was pressure then though, but if you were hot enough, you could kind of finagle a little something. And then of course Wayne being an artist,
he understood.
Right.
You changing point for me. What was it? You were on a song. Was it with Kanye, 2 Chainz? What was that song?
Monster?
Yeah.
Kanye J.
That was the verse.
He said 2 Chainz.
Yeah, 2 Chainz was not on that song?
No.
Sorry, 2 Chainz. I gotta patch up me and my relationship with 2 Chainz.
What? Why are you?
I am. I'm gonna fix it.
What happened with you and him?
I did something for ESPN, and they asked me which freestyle may not have been my best freestyle on my show, and I'll tell you why I feel bad. I said 2 Chainz, and it was not one of the best freestyles that I had. But I pressured him to do it.
Right, you can't. That's why I'm
suckers. I did sucker shit. I ain't
freestyling for your ass.
Wait, I pressured him, and he said that. I think he had said even before we did it. You know, this isn't really my type of thing to do, but you know, Flex wants me to do it, and I think I saw him. I was out of state, and he drove by and he was like, he gave me like that.
Oh my God.
I apologize, and I'm going to after having this conversation with you, I'm going to hit him. Don't look at me like that, Tad. I'm going to do it. I'm going to apologize, and I always felt like, I feel like I did him a little dirty. It was a little sucker style.
That's fucked up. And 2 Chainz is very, very.
He's a good guy.
He's very talented.
Yes. But that Monster record, I felt was the verse where people put you in that category of hanging with the top guys. Right. Do you agree that that was a that kind of? Were you going for that? Did you know? No! Did you know that they were on the song already? They made their verse. Did you hear it?
Jay was the last person to get on the record. Kanye had something on there, but he was really still fixing it up. So to be honest, I think mine was the first thing to be completed in full. Mm-hmm. But Kanye, I would say he pushed me to get that brilliant verse because he didn't like.
It's tough.
He said the verse that I did first could have been better, and he was absolutely right. He was like, "No, I think you got some. You got more in you. I know you can come better than that." He was like, "Don't rap. Think about what you want to say, and then make that into a rap." And I was like, "Yo, that's so true." So I just wrote down on a piece of paper everything I really wanted to say at that time. All the stuff critics were saying about me, everything I wanted to address, and I felt like I didn't address it, or I was too scared to address it before.
You was popping your shit. Yeah. You was popping your shit. It was a good verse.
He brought that out, I must say.
The Barbie Dreams. I when I posted, I really didn't hear the album yet. Because but I was honest with it because I spoke to Al Branch and he was running through some titles. I said, I want to be honest with you, Al. I didn't listen yet, right? And then people were telling me about the song, but nobody was telling me the title. So then I went and I listened to the song, and Biggie's original touches a place in my fucking heart. Like that song, I want to tell you about that song. I don't care what nobody say. That's the song that got him dropped from MCA at the time. Got got Puff fired.
What?
Absolutely, because Patti LaBelle was signed to the label also.
Oh my God!
And she was the money maker at the time.
Okay.
And if I remember, because I've met Patty's son, her son is very in tune to hip hop, like understands everything. So that record was originally the B-side of Mary J. Blige 411 on Uptown Records. It was like a bonus. It was a remix. The original had a verse from her, Mary, and a verse from Big. It was a 411 remix. But then they put that because it was like something, I guess, whatever it was. And then the DJ started playing that in the club. A little while after that, we had heard he got dropped. But, I'm sure maybe they're not going to say that story, but not because of Patti LaBelle. And I don't even think Patti LaBelle complained. I think that out of loyalty, whatever. So that's a hard record to touch. So when I heard the beat, I was like, all right. The beat is a different type of knock.
Mm-hmm, that beat.
From the hi-hat coming in to then the bass drop. So I'm like, well, how's she gonna attack this? Because I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you what part of it is.
Wow.
Yes, it's dreams, but it's a little bit of How to Rob too.
Absolutely.
But the back and forth piece of like how you take the same words and then switch it to mean something else with the same words. That's How to Rob.
Yes.
But the hook is dreams.
Right. It's so How to Rob, and I'm glad you said that because I want to shout out 50 because I keep on forgetting to say that he inspired it as so much. He inspired that record so much. That's why it's the first person I say in the song.
I figured.
You know that.
But it all didn't come to me the right away. When I figured out this is a little bit of How to Rob, now I understand the 50 shout. Cool.
Right.
I was piecing it together. I didn't understand you destroying Designer like that. I just didn't understand it. I was confused on why he took a hit like that. What? You know, anytime you associate a rapper with Special Ed. Wait. Did you really have a crush on Special Ed, the one from Brooklyn?
I sure did.
He was the man, right?
Yes, I loved him so much.
I love that shout. That shout, like, I'm a special ed fan.
I know people like you was gonna fuck with it. Like, you gotta really be in tune with that era and be
his swag.
Yeah.
Special ed swag, where he used to move his whole. He could say what he wanted. I know he was knocking down everything back then, but that's another story and another show.
I wonder if he heard it.
Of course, he had to. And he's still cool. Like what you call. I talk to him on the phone like once every 2 months. Sometimes shows. Sometimes I play some of the throwback events. I just do it quietly, but I play some of them. So I do see him sometimes, and he's I like him. So I enjoyed the shout. Now back to Designer though. Mm-hmm. Why did you feel it was necessary to the special ed part? Like,
wasn't he in special ed?
No, I don't think so. He is now that you said that.
I thought he
You thought he was.
I thought he went to special ed.
Did you talk to anybody before you dropped this song, or it just dropped?
I just dropped it.
You just dropped it. Okay. Did you? What? But the special ed board. I'm like, what happened there? Like, I felt it's hard for him to come back from that. I do. I swear. I do. How do you come back from that?
That's so dramatic.
Am I the only one who felt that, Ted? Who else felt that? Everybody felt that, like, yo, wow, how does he? All right.
You guys, I thought this was gonna be like a fun record.
It's fun. Okay, is Meek really still in your DMs?
Absolutely.
Now, when you say in the DMs, do you say like hollering? He should. I don't see why. There's nothing wrong with that, though, right?
All the men in here are saying, I would.
Yeah, I get it. Now, if I was dating you before and there wasn't there, why not? I'd holler.
Right.
I get it. Okay. So that's a true.
No, that's a true bar.
That's a true bar.
That's a true bar.
Okay. All right. Now, let's see what else. There's a couple other things. Did any of the rappers hit you like after the song dropped?
Yeah, well, a couple people. There was one person who got a little offended, and I won't say.
We have to say his name. No.
Yeah, no, I won't say his name because I have respect.
First verse or second verse?
Second. And I felt bad because I didn't want to hurt anybody, but
There's two parts I don't play. I turn down the Meek part and I turn down the Khaled part. Those are my friends. I turned those parts down. I didn't like it.
Can I say why?
I mean, I get it.
He said that in the interview, and it was so cultural. I felt I had to address it for women. Because let me tell you something. For women, women need to say women were so appalled about the I don't eat. We don't want to hear about what you ain't eating. What the fuck are you talking about? Women needed a woman to say, "Excuse me,
nigga."
So I had to be that woman. But I love and respect Khaled. And I love and respect his wife. And I want to make that very, very clear. I have so much respect for Khaled's wife. Like, she's an amazing lady. And I just thought everybody would know that this was like some joke.
Fun. But you want me to really realize Khaled doesn't engage in that type of fun. So I can understand why, like, maybe, I turned down just because I just turned it down because they're my guys. So, okay, so.
But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that song. I don't know why you lowering his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you do Young Thug like that?
What is wrong with that?
Was he really trying to holler at you before?
No!
He never hollered at you?
Never!
Okay, it sounds like
it was a joke. I said I used to fuck with Young Thug. I ain't addressing this shit. What am in my dressing room stealing dresses and shit? I thought that was such a dope.
He didn't want you to just repeat the verse right now. Why'd you? You just repeated the verse.
And I want to say I love Thug. Like, Thug tweeted me being funny. Like, he and I have such a dope relationship. He tweeted me saying, and I love his girlfriend as well. He knows that. She's a dope girl. And he tweeted me, I love how he's a sport. He tweeted me saying, I'm not good, love, and joy. And I was cracking up laughing. So I just thought that was so funny because he knows. And I made sure and I said people on this song who I fuck with, People who I know who, you know what I mean? Who I feel like a closeness to, that I feel like wouldn't have taken offense.
You didn't put Nas on the song. No, you didn't. How come? Why you froze up? He rose up. I'm just asking. I just noticed that. Somebody brought it to my attention. It's like, yo, Nas in the song.
I think that's a great question. Nobody has thought to ask me that. I think it's a great question. It definitely was something I purposely did. Like, I definitely had a Nas bar. Oh,
you did have one?
Absolutely.
I must admit, I was very, for the first time for me, as you know, I love to talk shit and I love to go at people. You know, like I like to express myself. I was saying to myself, I think, while the record was going, I think I'm good. I'm playing. He's not going to fucking throw me under the bus.
What?
I was like, she's not going to fucking throw a dagger at me in this song. I ain't gonna lie. I was listening. I was like, nah.
I should have.
In my mind, I was like, nah, I'm playing shit. I'm good, better, right? Shit is better, right? God, because this is gonna hurt. You should have got me.
Yes.
Okay, so you've only had. Did Designer reach out to you?
No, but he posted my album.
He did.
Yes.
Maybe he didn't hear the song before he posted.
Oh my God, he heard it. They think it's funny, you guys.
They do.
Yes. Yeah. Dave East definitely got a kick out of his shout out.
That was tough.
You know, he was like, only a sprinkle, and I'm like, boy, sit down. He's stupid too, but yeah. I mean, come on.
She's paying attention to what's going on out here. Obviously.
I'm on social media, you guys. How could I not know what's going on?
I want to thank the Barbs for giving me some love.
Shout out to the Barbs for giving Flex some love. Flex, I said this, you guys, Barbs. We are welcoming Flex back into the kingdom because Flex went out there and said his opinion cannot be bought. And we can do nothing but respect that because I never ask anyone to say they like all my shit. Okay, but I'm also not gonna pay you to say you like my shit.
You've never asked me about music.
I don't
know. You've never asked me if I didn't like something, why I didn't. You've never asked me why I don't, and you've never called me to play something.
Thank you. I don't like doing that. I want you to play it.
Like 5 artists who probably have ever done that with me.
But I wanted to be organic, and that's how I knew
never
you
given me shade when I wasn't playing something.
Right.
Yeah, I never felt any funny energy.
That's your prerogative. And I want you to play things that you do truly love. Like, so that when you played Chun-Li and when you said that, I knew that was from you, your heart, really, that you really liked the record. And that made me feel better.
But I like the other one, too. You put out 2. You put out...
Barbie Tings.
No, when you did Chun-Li, what was the other song?
Barbie Tings.
Yeah, but what beat? I'm trying to remember the beat. There was something that I remember I liked.
That was an 80s sounding beat. And correct. I purposely had it made like that. Because I wanted to feel like that, you know, Salt and Pepper Run DMC vibe. You know, I just wanted to go back to that mode.
There was a shout out to Free. Me and Free discussed this. I didn't discuss it with you. I don't know if it wasn't Billboard. It was someone who I think took an unfair shot at you. Was it Billboard or was it
Forbes?
It was Forbes.
It was just a lonely. It was just a no. We're not even gonna give that psycho no love.
No,
it was just a lonely, weak loser who said that he was mad that I was taking Tekashi on tour, and he was mad that I responded to some lady who I didn't even respond to, but they ran with that story. Well, who cares? Let's move on.
No, but you know what? I tell you what it is. It put so much pressure, like on the music and everything else, and I was like, you know what? But nothing's come out yet.
Right.
You know, that was just me.
And now that Queen has come out, you feel dumb, sir. Because
it's popping. It's popping.
Thank you.
6ix9ine, how did you and him meet to get to the collab? How did that even come about?
Well, I heard him playing something on his Instagram. Can I see the fan shit guy in the mirror, please? I heard him play this record on
fan.
I heard him playing this record on his Instagram, and I didn't know him too much, but it reminded me of a record that I had done with Gucci Mane one time.
Mm-hmm. Not the one you ended up being on. Is this the one?
It is the one I ended up being on. He played he played like a snippet of that song on his.
Just took out the fan.
Yes.
It's hot in here. Right? Nigga hot. I know.
He played a snippet of that song on his Instagram.
No lyrics, no nothing, no hook, no nothing.
No, yes, with the.
He had everything.
Well, I think. No, I think he had his first verse and his hook. And I think I saw Murder beats in the footage. And of course, I know Murder. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. But the cadence that he was rapping with, it reminded me of a song I did with Gucci Mane. Slumber Party. And so I said, oh, this is funny. This reminds me of a lyric, a rap I spit one time. So I followed 6ix9ine, and all of a sudden he reached out to me, and he asked me, he asked me, did I want to link? Would I be interested in getting on a record? And I was like, yeah, sure, let me hear it. I knew it was gonna be that song though that he had on his Instagram. Yeah, and I loved it right away.
That song's cranking, big in the club, cranking.
Thank you.
That record's cranking.
Shout out to him. I love the song. I love the energy.
I get a lot of flack for liking 6ix9ine.
Why? Because he's not something that they expect you to like.
It's unorthodox. To some people, there's two 6ix9ines. There's the 6ix9ine in social media, and there's the 6ix9ine's music that's in the clubs.
Right.
And the first song, I base my judgment on him strictly from the first song, Gummo. And I was in a hardcore spot in Brooklyn. A couple killers and a couple, just known dudes. And I said to myself, I'm going to try it. I knew what it was doing in the young clubs, but I said, I'm going to try it. And for me, if I see killers bobbing, I already know, like, they've already done what they feel about you and what it is. And if they like it, I know a record has a tendency to grow from there if the street's on it. So that was my thing. I think the people who judge him harshly are the ones who just go off his gram.
Me too. And I used to just go off of that. I was just like, who is, colorful teeth? I couldn't get past that.
It's if that's all you know, it is strange.
Absolutely.
But when you see the reaction to the songs, and when I see him in public, or the reaction to his records in the club, like, they're good records.
And when you deal with him on a personal level, him as a person, he's very different, off of social media. He comes across very genuine. On social media, he comes across as a troll, and I always tell him that. He makes me crack up laughing. But he's definitely a troll. But in person, he's different.
I enjoy his
trolling?
Yeah.
Me too.
I do.
I think we all low-key do.
I think he's, but I never experienced as much of a wave, like, people in the world. If I even said I like a hamburger, yeah, and you like 6ix9ine too, bruh, give me I'm not just picking a record out of nowhere. This record's big in the club. I don't care what you think about him. This is a big record in the club. Should I not be playing it? Because, and I think, artist, I think people are getting caught up a little bit too, where it ain't just about I got some catchy lines. It's your whole package, more so than ever now, I think. And then I think that's the part that's like a little, that has changed. But I appreciate you coming to see me.
I appreciate you having me.
And we've been on and off some. We've been more on than we've been off, right? We've had more good times. Yeah. We've had a few run-ins.
Yeah.
Right. But we always end up making up, right? We're not made up yet. Don't say that in front of the Barbs, man.
All right. We made up.
They're gonna be in my comments again.
We made up. We cool.
We made up.
I respect you. You know that I have nothing but respect for you.
I respect you too.
Thank you. And I appreciate you talking to me. And I mean, I haven't been really this candid in a very long time.
I appreciate you being candid. I learned a lot today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are gonna learn a lot. I tend to not want to speak about things, and then it's kind of bad because then people make up their own and things about me, and it's usually lies, and a lot of people don't come to my defense, And so every now and then I have to set the record straight for myself.
Any room for you and Meek to ever get back together? I was just curious. There's room? You're not sure? Maybe? I'm just wondering.
What made you?
I don't know. I just wanted to ask.
What made you ask that, of all things and of all people?
Okay. You want me to give my... I thought it was cool watching from afar. I thought it was cool. Like, you and him, I did. You know what? And I hope Nas doesn't take this funny. I felt... Look, I don't normally look at people's relationships. I'm just giving my opinion because Nicki's right here.
Mm-hmm.
I outside looking in, maybe I understood you and Meek more than a little bit than you and Nas. Maybe so that was just me in terms of what I what I saw.
So funny. Nas told me that he thinks that Meek is still in love with me.
Well.
While we were together.
Well, this gets very tangled because when you're currently involved with a person who's then talking about the that's hard to know where. Are you and Nas still
No, we're not
dating?
together. No.
You were dating.
We were.
We were dating. Okay, you were dating Nas, and then. So did you, I have so many questions about this, but so did you and Meek ever? Did you tell Meek that you were gonna date Nas? Was it just everything?
Meek, I have no words for him. I did not have no words for Meek. It's taken me a long time to even be at this place, and it's because he's, since he came home, he's apologized to me. He's really tried to like be the bigger person and to like, he's come out and said, yo, I know I didn't really do right, and I know like, you stood by me and you were good to me and so because of that, I was able to breathe and really try to forgive and move on because I'm a forgiving person as long as a person comes at me right. Mm-hmm. But if they continue with their bullshit, I'm not just gonna kiss your ass and like double back. I'm not gonna do that. Mm-hmm. But if you take that step with me, I'll meet you halfway.
Now, see, you're doing some relationship talk here, and I want to ask you something because, I do understand that men have a tendency of maybe, making mistakes, right? Mm-hmm. But you as an entertainer, as a woman, and in these relationships, do you think there's anything that you could have done better? I'm just saying. I didn't hear anything.
With him in particular?
Well, because sometimes the man does take the brunt of
no.
Sometime in a relationship.
No, he should have. He should.
Okay, yes. But I'm just saying. As Nicki Minaj.
No.
See, that's not fair.
No.
That's not fair.
And you're saying that because you're a man. Because if you weren't, you would not be saying that.
Exactly.
You'll be able to read between the motherfucking lines and see that I did every possible.
No, but wait. Yes, I understand that part. Go here. Forget the reason of something happening.
And it's not. I don't want to blame. I don't want to put this play the blaming game either. Not in that particular
relationship, Nicki. I'm saying in general.
In general, what? Everyone falls short. No one is perfect. Who's perfect?
I agree, but I'm just
Who's perfect.
Okay, look, I could in my own relationship. Yes, I feel like I do things that I could do better, and I'm sure she feels that way about me. Shout out to Maria, but I'm saying, do you feel just not even in one of those specific relationships? Forget it. Okay, do you think it's not hard to date Nicki Minaj?
Of course. I will say
I'm a laundry list. Every man is looking at you, trying to date you. So when you come in a room, you have guys who are always trying to talk to you, correct?
Guys
is hollering.
Guys do not holler at me. Guys are scared of me. I don't know.
All right, how about this?
Guys don't be, hey, what up, shorty? What's up? Let me get your money. You think niggas come up to me and say that?
Let me ask you something. If you're dating a man and you two walk into a room, right? Of people. I mean, you are the center of attention when you walk into the room.
That's why I need a very secure man, and this not only for Nicki Minaj.
I'm just saying that's not the easiest thing.
For any successful, beautiful woman, if you don't have a secure man, run. You're in trouble because this man needs to be secure in the house and out the house. He needs to be able to. He needs to know I got a good woman by my side. I don't care how many men want her. I know she gonna hold me down. And he shouldn't have to belittle you. He shouldn't have to belittle you to make you feel lower so that you can have a low self-esteem so that he can feel better about himself.
No. But Nicki, take that part aside for a second.
No, there is nothing
else. No, wait. No matter who the man is, we don't even have a specific man in that we're talking about.
Okay.
If you are the biggest female rapper and someone is dating you, right? that is a hard thing. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know, it is. Like, you can't act like that's not.
So
like,
what am I supposed to do?
No. I'm not saying you're supposed to do anything. I'm just saying.
I still think it's not easy.
That's not normal every day.
Okay, you got that.
So I kind of can see where a couple men bug out. You see why a couple guys bug out, right?
Flags, no. No.
Come on.
No. Come on. Don't do that. Let's hold men accountable for their actions.
Yes.
Hold men accountable.
All right, here.
Let's not give men excuses.
Wait, no. How about this, right? In a man-woman relationship, right? There is already, you know, if you have a pretty girl, right? If you both work at McDonald's and you have a pretty girl, right? You have a pretty girl that people holler at or whatever. The woman normally gets more attention than the man in a relationship. We're clear on that, right? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna dodge that too. That's true, correct?
Yeah.
Amplify it times you become a rap superstar. You don't think it's difficult for men to date you?
What would you like me to say about that, Flash?
But I'm just saying, like, there is no difficulty in that. Like, it's smooth running. It's smooth sailing.
But what should I do about that?
But I'm just saying that shit ain't easy. We're not gonna act like it's easy. But that's the part you're saying. You're saying that's easy. That's not fair. That's not fair.
I'm saying that I'm not going to give you a biscuit or a bone.
No, you should not. But I'm just saying that is not an easy part to date someone of your stature. That's right or wrong.
You're right.
So that's worth nothing? That's worth nothing? Like, that's worth nothing? Like, you can't, that's worth nothing. Like, you just gotta suck that up and take it? Like that? But you know that's a lot for a man.
But you knew before entering into a situation with me who I was. You knew I was Nicki Minaj before you got with me. You begged to get with me.
Nah, hold up.
You begged
I'm sure.
Wanted to be with a person.
I'm sure the outside looking in the process of getting with you is totally different from when they actually get with you. And
whose fault is that?
Sometimes people's eyes are bigger than when they get there.
Absolutely, but whose fault is that?
But you know that's a lot of pressure.
So what would you like me to do?
Are you saying you don't care?
What does it have to do with me? You have to adjust. You're a grown ass man. You adjust.
Yes, but while you're adjusting, you're that's a lot.
You don't get excuses. You don't get excuses.
That's not an excuse, but Nicki, you're saying that's not hard, man?
It might be hard, but it's also hard for me as well.
Yeah, but you know, like, all right. When other rappers refer to your name in records, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And when they refer to your name in records, they're not referring like, I want to take you to the movie theater. They're referring to your records because they find you attractive, right?
Maybe.
Oh, you don't hear it.
But what? But
I'm getting to something. Okay, I'm getting to something. What? So if I'm a rapper, right? Yeah. And you're being mentioned in songs and or other stuff, or a guy, come in the room, you're making records with them, you're doing everything else, and I'm a rapper, and then I'm dating you, that's not easy.
Yeah. Okay.
You agree or disagree?
Yeah. It's not easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's not easy. So do you understand sometimes when maybe when the relationships something happens? I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Or you don't see that?
There's a lot of stuff that's a lot to deal with in life.
All right. We can agree to disagree. We're almost there.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that it is a lot.
But then
what?
I'm just saying. But then if it's a lot, does that ever make you kind of see maybe why it's, sometimes it's a strain in there with all that happens. There is a strain too.
There's a strain on famous people when they date. Of course, everybody will tell you that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an added strain.
And you don't know what it is until you're in it.
Right. Right.
I mean, when you date someone, you got a rapper like Drake who always makes reference to that exists, right? You're acting like you don't see that. So when Drake, the biggest rapper in the world, saying, hey, always fucking there, you don't think that means nothing. You like it. You like it. You like it. You like it because it keeps niggas in their fucking place, don't you?
No,
you like it. Look. You like it because it keeps niggas in their place.
No, I don't.
It does. It secretly keeps niggas like, yo, stand down, nigga, because...
No. Mm-hmm. No real woman thinks like that. I'm not thinking, stand down, nigga, because this nigga shouting me out. No.
You just said it pretty good, though, right? You saw the way she said it, right?
When you're in love with someone, you don't want them to feel, to be hurt or to feel insecure or uncomfortable.
So you're currently not dating? Or it's none of my business?
It's none of your business.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you coming.
Can
appreciate
I
your
go
time.
home?
Yes, I got you for a long time. How long were we here? How long was this?
And it's hot as
Killed
fuck.
them.